Found the girl to lean upon, and if I could arrange it, oh, would I care to change it? Not me. Don't wanna leave. Sorry to grieve you. It's traveling time and I must move on. Found the gal to lean upon, and if I could arrange it, oh, would I care to change it? Not Yes, for you. The Hollywood String Quartet. Harold Arlen got that too. Sinatra was putting together a show, The House of Flowers. Here it is, Harold, on a Sinatra album that was made during the course of 1956, in the spring and in the fall. Came out in January 57, and included this new song by Harold Arlen. I don't know what role, how much of a role Truman Capote took as the lyricist. The show was based on a story of his, House of Flowers. I do know that Sleeping Bee is all Harold's, words and music. But as for the song that Sinatra just sang, I just don't know what role Capote played as a first-time lyricist. And I just read, what was it? Truman Capote Reconsidered. It's an essay by a woman. I just don't remember who. It might be someone I admire. No, I'll think of it. 93.9 FM WNYC and on the jonathanchannel.org.
Richard Pryor, Dave Chappelle, Key and Peele. To me, they're hilarious, but some people think they're offensive. I'm Arun Venugopal. Join me in the green space for Funny or Racist. We'll watch and listen to clips and talk with guests about how something can be edgy or ugly, depending on your point of view. Part of my Micropolis series on race and identity. Wednesday night at 7. Tickets at wnyc.org/thegreenspace.
WNYC is supported by The Book of Mormon. The new musical from the creators of South Park is what 21st century Broadway can be, says Entertainment Weekly. Now playing at the Eugene O'Neill Theater on Broadway. Tickets available at telecharge.com.
On the Memorial Day Brian Lair Show, David Brooks on the moral vocabulary of millennials.
Young people especially are an incredibly inspiring generation. I think they're all going to have the biggest midlife crisis in human history in about 10 years.
Why is that?
But it's because they work so hard and they put so much pressure on themselves.
Also, how introverts find love. The Brian Lehrer Show, weekdays at 10 a.m. on WNYC.
I got it. Cynthia Ozick. It was an essay of hers in a collection of her essays on all different subjects. One of them was called, I guess the title was something like, the meaning was taking another look at Truman Capote. And it was a nice, faithful look. She is a beautiful writer. Cynthia Ozick. Beautiful on every level, including the Updike level of just beautiful language. And she wrote something particularly lovely about Updike at some point along the way. I remember that. Jonathan Schwartz, this is a Sunday, and I have before me this CD that Pete McGuinness sent me. It's called First Flight. And it was put out in 2007. He is a marvelous musician, to say the very least. He's a scat singer. He writes for his own band, plays the trombone. There's a photograph of him playing the trombone on this first CD of his. Jazz Orchestra First Flight. Here's a piece he wrote that you might like. It's called Spring Song. McGuinness wrote it, and he orchestrated it. He played on it. He's something. And this is a CD I hadn't known existed. But he told me about it when we were out at BAM, May 10th. And he sent it to me, too. That's the best thing. The Pete McGuinness Jazz Orchestra, First Flight. That's the name of the CD. He said, to me, I can't understand why most musicians and music appreciators do not know who this fellow is. So I'm trying to make it happen in my way. The Pete McGuinness Jazz Orchestra. Oh, here's something from one of my favorite Tierney Sutton CDs. It's called On the Other Side. That is to say, the CD is. There are two versions of Happy Days Are Here Again and Get Happy. There are two kind of dark presentations. And then there are two more affirmative looks. Here's Happy Days. Tierney Sutton and the band from the CD On the Other Side.